Welcome to the Cold Brew and Cream podcast, where storytelling meets personal growth. All right, welcome to the Cold Brew and Cream podcast. Today's another special episode. We have Max with us today.
Yes.
We're going to be going through, some real conversations like we usually do, real life. Today's episode is one that has the power to save lives, change perspectives, and remind people that they are never alone. Mental health affects millions of people every day. Yet so many suffer in silence. Today, we're honored to be joined by Max.
Yes, thank you.
Max, are you 16?
15.
15.
Yes.
Who's agreed to share his personal journey, highs, lows, setbacks, breakthroughs, just like all of our episodes. So his story isn't just about mental health struggles or ups and peaks and valleys. It's about resilience, growth, hope, finding strength in moments when life feels overwhelming. Thank you for being here today.
Of course. No problem.
All right. So let's start at the beginning. Before we talk about mental health, tell us a little about your childhood. Obviously much younger. And how it was growing up around the house.
So I grew up, I've been alive for 15 years. In 2010, I grew up on the Cape. I lived with my grandmother for about 13 years. So that was, I was pretty much used to that a majority of my life until a few years ago. Okay. And then certain things happened where my grandmother was like, oh, I want to live by myself, enjoy my years. And then I went on with my mother, who I've been with for about 3 years. So I'm kind of used to I guess I'm still adjusting to living with my mother and living with my sister because it's kind of new to me. I'm not new, but it's been only a few years.
Okay. What kind of woman was your grandma like while living with her?
Well, kind of towards the end when I was living with her, she went through some mental health declining issues, and she kind of wasn't really in her best. She wasn't doing the best, but overall, when I lived with her when I was younger, she was she was very nice. She worked at a jewelry store in the Mashpee Commons. She was managing that. We lived in a very nice house. She was keeping up with. She was doing really good when I was younger. So living with her was really good. It was nice.
Okay. What if you could reflect back? What's at least one of those moments that was positive living with her that you think back today, from time to time maybe, and it brings a little smile or smirk on your face?
I guess when I was younger, one thing that definitely I appreciate about her and that was very sweet about her is when I was 4 or 5, maybe even 6, and I was just sad about something, God knows what, I was crying or emotional, she would always say oh, you don't have to be sad, I'm here for you. Or I'm just what's the right word, to not coddle, but kind of just comfort, a sense of, you know what I mean? When I was in a bad mood, she was there to comfort me or make me feel better, obviously, back then. So
Very good. Now you said that whenever, everyone goes through highs and lows and so on. Even something as maybe silly as if you find it silly, the Sunday scaries when you have school or work the next day and you are just, maybe you can't go to sleep. Right. All your energy is just focused on the future and living in the present. But so when did you feel, or was there a point where you started feeling those emotions a little more intensely, or when did that begin?
So, I don't know if this is really when they started, but when I kind of felt a little was like when I moved out of where I was living with my grandmother on the Cape. My mother was living in Boston, so I feel like that was a very big like cultural just shock, just big transition, like having to go, because I was raised on the Cape until I was probably like 12 or 13, and then when I was 13 I moved in with my mother, and then I had to go to school in Boston. I had to get used to like living a city life, and it was different. I definitely feel like especially being in somewhere for so long and kind of out of your control, you're pulled out of that. It was definitely a little different.
Right. There's I mean, through what you're saying, there are a lot of changes going on, right?
Yes.
Here, and a whole lot of changes. So, okay. So, some of the feelings that you felt, let me know if any of these connect with you.
Okay.
During that period. Anxiety, anger, stress, isolation.
I'd say really the anxiety and the stress was definitely a big one then.
Okay. All right. The anxiety do you think that anxiety came from not being uprooted, maybe? Or was it something different?
I guess because I've kind of been like having it past few years, but I guess I feel like it was really like the anxiety and the stress and just maybe not too happy in my situation. It's just like, I guess it was hard for me to accept that, oh, this is your life now. Excuse me, my eye. You're living in Boston. You got to get used, you have no control over it. So I guess really the big part, like, it was really just like the acceptance of it, the situation.
Okay. Were there things that worked for you during those moments that you were kind of battling some of those emotions? Like, some people may go play a sport, shoot some hoops to physically kind of like drain themselves from those emotions. Some people may do something else, writing, drawing.
A common thing that I did and still do now to this day is like I go for a walk, maybe listen to some music, put in my AirPods, and just kind of just vibe everything out for a little bit for the time I have to myself,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's see. So you go from the Cape?
Yes.
To Boston?
To Boston, yes.
Okay. And were you living with your mother in Boston?
Yes, that's when I lived with my mother, yes.
Okay. So how's that transition outside of... I'll just leave it at that. How's that transition?
So I will say it was it was different because having to go from living with your grandmother who was very lenient on you and kind of letting you kind of do your thing to living in a nice area, living in a nice house, to going with your mother who has all these structured rules for you, and having living in the city, which you're not used to, living in a apartment, which is different and you're not used to. So I feel like I don't know what the right word is, but it was very just like, oh, this is hard to get used to. This is hard to accept because I'm so used to, for 13 years of my life, living with this person, living in this area, and now I'm going with this person. How do I accept that? How do I mentally process that? You know what I mean?
Right. How do you think that your mother handled the transition?
I think she did it well, smoothly. Well, I mean, I don't know about smoothly, but it was well. I mean, it definitely wasn't like the ideal. I mean, it definitely wasn't the most ideal situation, but I feel like it was handled well.
Okay, very good. Let's see. So, okay, you're in Boston. You're with your mother. It's more structured.
Yes.
It's completely different.
And I have my sister.
And you have your sister?
Yes.
Okay. You have your sister. And yeah, so it's challenging, but you're trying to get used to it.
Yes.
So when you are in Boston, were there any big challenges that you were met with?
I feel like because when I lived with my mother in Boston, I had to go to a lot of different Boston public schools because they didn't work out for me. They didn't give me the support I needed. It was just unsafe. The safety wasn't at a good level. I feel like the challenges are definitely like having to get used to, like, I mean, obviously living in the city and being in a new place is definitely, it's not always easy, but I feel like going to a new school, going to all these new schools in Boston. I went to 4 new schools in Boston after the Cape. So I feel like having to do that and do that and do that and do that was definitely a challenge. Having to keep reintegrating to a new school.
Right. A lot of tall tasks.
Yes.
In 2 of the previous episodes on cold brew and cream, something that we kind of touched on very briefly, but it just happened to bleed into that fabric, was mental health.
Yeah.
And the importance of being able to understand, to accept that's the real thing.
Right.
And then to try to become physically, I guess, mentally healthy.
Yes.
Can you speak on what your opinion is on mental health, or have you had the chance to witness somebody else's journey, or
like how I feel about mental health, kind of?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like personally, like, mental health is very important. Like, if you're not in like the right mindset, like mentally, if you're like just thinking things you shouldn't be thinking, I feel like I just feel like, how do I say this in a good way, that it's always like, if you're like mentally struggling, you're not gonna like do the normal things you do in life or perform the normal things you do in life in the way you want to, because you're like, how do I explain it? Like, your mind is just I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. Just going through like different things,
Right.
So like it's hard. Like, if I was always doing this every day and always going for walks or playing a sport or always being happy to go to school, or not happy, but going to school and doing everything I need to, but then I become depressed, or I become like mentally not well. I don't want to do those things. I want to stay in bed. So then it's like, it's always good to, like, I guess, like, get support if your mental health is not right. I feel like if you see yourself just like not in the place you want to be, or like you're feeling thoughts of like suicide or anything like that, it's always good to get help and get the support you need, because you always want to make sure you're mentally well,
Right. Talking about suicide, we have crisis lines, right?
Yes.
And
I believe 988.
988,
Yeah.
exactly. Excuse me. That is something that I definitely, my ears perk up, and something that I would like to be able to help out with.
Yeah.
I think just like we've come a long way with the whole mental health universe, where it's no longer, looked at poorly, or people aren't shunned. And because of that, a lot of people are still here with us today.
Yeah.
And are, have the opportunity and ability to help others, maybe not a lot, but they're able to give words of wisdom, or maybe different techniques. Do you know anybody who went through that, or any techniques that let's say I'm listening to this podcast right now, or watching
You're
it.
watching it, yeah.
And I'm struggling a bit,
Right.
could be with depression or
Mm-hmm.
what have you. I mean, what are some of the things that I should do to try to get out of this hole?
So I feel like like if you're depressed and you don't want to do anything, you're just isolating. I feel like it's like you definitely want to like, because if you like just see yourself just not wanting to do anything and you can't control it, I definitely think it's good to like ask your family or ask somebody for like support or help so you can get either on the right medication or get the support you need of this therapy or going to a mental health program or anything, just because I feel like it's always important to express to people like how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
So like they can help you, they can give you their input or advice on what you should do, so you're not just, because I feel like it's unhealthy to like keep whatever's in your head that's making you depressed or not well in your head. I feel like that definitely is, definitely could weigh you down.
Okay. Do you believe, or do you think that everybody goes through, some sort of mental health episode, whether it be, very minor,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe something that is consistent, that they're
More serious.
what's that?
Like more serious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Something that's consistent. Maybe. Do you think certain people? Do you think some people are suffering from, some sort of situation that's undiagnosed?
Right.
But they're so used to just
Like
doing the
along,
same thing.
like going along with it.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like in everybody's own way of like what could have happened in their life, there's definitely something. I mean, I don't believe that everybody's perfect. I believe everybody has their own spots where they're just like, I definitely feel like there's like everybody has like something going on, even if it's more minor or if it's more serious. I feel like there's always at least something going on that's could be in your head, like mentally weighing in your head. I mean,
Right.
even if it's big or small, I feel like there's always could be something.
Right.
Do
you think it's easier to do you think it's easier to have this conversation with somebody who's older,
Mm-hmm.
or somebody who's younger? Do you think it's more accepted by one or the other?
That's a good question. I feel like if you talk about it with somebody who's more your age, then they can probably they can relate more, maybe like it's like having sympathy or something, because they understand like, oh, what, like you're going through this or whatnot. But I feel like if you tell like an adult, they have like a little bit of a different like perspective, I feel like, kind of on things, like,
Right. Maybe that older person has just lived that much longer, and maybe that older person has experienced right, a bit more.
Right.
A lot of I've heard that the world would be a much better place if mental health was treated with the same seriousness as physical health. What do you think about that?
I definitely believe that your physical health is important. I mean, I feel like your mental health is definitely more important because it's like where everything is really going on. Like your physical health is definitely important because you don't want to undereat or overeat, or you want to make sure you're in shape or fit. But I feel like everything kind of goes on with like your mental health, like how you do things, like how you just everything. I feel like your mental health is more. I mean, they're both equally important, but I feel like your mental health is more like it should be taken more like a seriously, kind of.
Right. Okay. Do you what do you wish schools and communities did differently when it comes to the support?
I think a thing that schools should do more is probably like if they're like talking with one of the students, like a guidance counselor talking with their students, and the student is just like saying all these things that they just are like they're just not in a great mood. They are just like not in the right like mindset, and the counselor can tell that. I feel like a good thing is like having more like check-ins with that, like if somebody who is going through something more severe than another person, to kind of like prioritize like people, like, you know, like if that person needs to talk with a counselor right away, they should probably get that like
Be seen
priority.
First.
Yeah, be seen first.
Right.
Yeah.
It's tough. Do you think that that person sometimes may not be very open to the counselor right away?
Yeah, that's...
I'm just wondering if I was the counselor and you needed to see me, or vice versa, and I was really feeling some sort of way, but I couldn't express it.
I feel like if a student was like, oh, this all happened to me last week, and now I feel like I want to end it all, or I feel like situations like that where they're saying stuff very like serious is probably when, you know, definitely prioritize those students. I feel like if they're like saying, oh, I want to end my life, or I'm really not happy, or just, you know, who are going through certain things more mentally.
Right.
Deeply. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see. So you've learned so much through your own experiences. What I wanted to ask is, number one, you're sharing part of your journey with us today. Do you think your journey can help inspire others?
Yeah, I definitely. I think a good message to put out there is just like, no matter like what like hard obstacles in life like comes your way, just keep going, because if you just keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, just whatever, things will get better. You know, just don't like let one like situation that gets you really worked up to make you like want to get so like mentally out of it to want to end your life, you know. So I think just taking it one step at a time, and just like, obviously certain hard situations in life may not be easy and you may not want to deal with them, but I feel like it's always good to just like keep going, because things will get better if you just do what what you need to do, you know.
Right. Do you ever see yourself as a mouthpiece for this?
Yeah, kinda. Yes.
Right.
Definitely, like awareness.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see you. I mean, you're excuse me. You're already doing a great job here.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
And I think a lot of younger and older folk would be inspired.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot to get up on, on a podcast and be able to talk about yourself, and all your past little intricacies and so on. So this is really important work, and we definitely need people everywhere.
Right.
Let's see. So so this is actually kind of like a similar question, but when it's counseling, advocacy, education, or simply being somebody who listens, what impact do you have presently on others? And if you don't, what impact do you hope to have on others?
I feel like a good impact I'd like to have is, I guess, have like my voice like be like advocate, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just like, kind of like me like sharing parts of my story to kind of like give awareness to other people, mm-hmm. and to kind of like just like I guess get a message from it, get a message from the podcast, and be kind of like, you know, just like a person like be like impactful kind of, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay, so I see you years from now.
Yeah.
Right, in front of a crowd or in a small room, or mm-hmm. but definitely having the attention of people, mm-hmm. But years from now, when somebody listens to this episode, mm-hmm. what do you want it to be remembered for?
I wanted to be remembered really for like the message that I'm putting out from this video, like to just keep going, just like as a like positive like motivation and reminder to just keep going. It's just like, yeah, just like a positive like message,
right?
Just to have out there for people to see, you know.
Good. So this is a incredible conversation.
Yes, I agree.
Max, thank you for your courage, honesty, willingness to share your story.
Yes, of course.
Conversations like this help break down stigma and remind people that asking for help is not weakness, it's strength.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're still in, even though it's towards the end, mm-hmm. Mental Health Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. To everyone listening, you never know what somebody's carrying behind their smile. Mm-hmm. Be kind. Check in on your friends, check in on your family. Don't be afraid to check in on yourself.
Yes.
Mental health is not a destination, it's a journey.
Yes.
And none of us are meant to walk that journey alone.
Altogether. Yes.
Exactly. So before I close this out, mm-hmm. do you have anything else you would like to say to people listening right now?
I guess really just to like keep going. Don't ever be afraid to like ask for support, ask for help, and to just know that you matter and that you don't matter any less just because if you have certain situations going on, just that you matter, and if you ever need help, just always reach out and always just be well.
Excellent. Yes. So until next time, take care of yourself, each other, keep this conversation going.
Yes.
This is the Cold Brew and Cream podcast, where we take care of each other, one cup at a time.
Welcome to the Cold Brew and Cream podcast, where storytelling meets personal growth.